Welcome back. Tonight in the Hot Box, we are talking Gun Appreciation Day. The founder, Larry Ward, is with us live from Washington, D.C., as well as Ed Raymond with us tonight in the Hot Box. He's an opinion writer for High Plains Reader. Larry, I want to start with you. You're the one that sort of invented Gun Appreciation Day. What was your impetus to start Gun Appreciation Day?
Well, the first thing that caused us to go ahead and launch this event was on the first day of the 113th Congress. There were about 9 laws introduced in the House that were grab our guns and that infringe upon our Second Amendment. And Dianne Feinstein, put a summary out on her bill, and on top of that, she said she was going to introduce it in the Senate on the 22nd of this month. And President Obama and Joe Biden both guaranteed they'd pass sweeping gun legislation, by the end of the year.
Larry, you've made quite a media storm recently being on CNN. I've got a clip I want to play, share that with our audience, and then get some comments from both you and Ed so we can roll this tape, please. This is from CNN.
And the truth is, I think Martin Luther King would agree with me, if he were alive today, that if African Americans had been given the right to keep and bear arms from day one of the country's founding, perhaps slavery might not have been a chapter in our history.
Created a media storm. Ed, I want to get your comments on that.
Well, I'm afraid Larry hasn't read any chapters in our history. That's the real problem. Larry, I think your Gun Appreciation Day is the 19th of January?
Yes, it is.
On that day, 33 Americans will be murdered, 55 will die from firearm wounds because of accidents and suicides, and 195 people will be wounded. What are you going to say to those people who will then appreciate your gun day?
Well, first of all,
No, don't try to filibuster me. Please answer the question.
I'm not filibustering you at all. I'm trying to answer your question. First of all, the answer to that is very simple. Guns provide us liberty, provide us freedom. They've done for our nation's history. And the fact that people kill, well, people kill. And whether they use a gun or a knife or a hammer or a club, more these assault weapons that the left keeps throwing out, more deaths are caused by hammers and clubs than assault weapons. So, are you going to protest Home Depot tomorrow? Are you going to protest Dick's Sporting Good? No, you're not.
No, I want to pass some decent laws that will turn the NRA into something that you can drown in a bathtub. The NRA is running a gun culture. The hierarchy is psychotic. They are ruthless, brutal. They have no empathy. They have no sympathy. They even waited 1 week. Wayne LaPierre waited 1 week to even respond to Sandy Hook.
Larry, I want to get your comments on what he said about drowning the NRA in a bathtub.
Well, I tell you something. I thought I said some controversial statements. Let me start out, and answer what you said right there. The left is desperately trying to make this an argument of there are people that are for gun violence and that there are people against gun violence. I guarantee you that if you did a poll of every single NRA member, you'd get 100% back that we were all against.
Wait a minute.
Wait, let him finish. Let him finish that. Larry, go ahead, and then we'll let Ed comment.
We are all against gun violence. We are for the
you aren't.
And civil right to defend ourselves. That's what we stand for.
Wait a second, though, and Larry, I want to interrupt something with Ed, because he's saying, no, the NRA is not against gun violence. How can you say that when you've got one of the highest homicides rates in Chicago, where Obama's from, with all these gun laws? What are you talking about, Ed?
You're talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
All right. Well, one thing with what Larry is proposing here, I don't think there's any question that the NRA hierarchy is psychotic. The only interest they had, as an example, in recommending that all schools have armed guards, well, they might be able to sell another 100,000 weapons for the weapons manufacturers in this country. I am not against guns. I have guns of my own. But I think I have a little experience with guns in that Some time ago, I was a commander of a light and heavy machine gun platoon in the Marine Corps. Later on, I was head of a rifle company in the Marine Corps. And there are so many questions of why we have a gun culture. But why are 87% of the children who are murdered in the world are murdered in the United States?
And I don't mean to interrupt you, but Larry, I want to give you a final word here to wrap things up, and I got a comment I want to share as well. Larry, go ahead.
Sure, of course. Well, let me just bring up this hypothetical real quick. If tomorrow we wake up and a school bus is hit by a drunk driver and 20 children are killed, the whole nation will mourn, right? But tomorrow,
Please.
not one politician is going to call for car control. Not one politician is going to say that we need to ban high-performance engines. And Governor Cuomo in New York is not going to
Larry, we're kind of
shake
losing
his
you a bit.
fist and say,
Lost
no
you.
one needs a drive to work.
Larry, I want to get your thoughts on this, because I want to bring something up that Ed just mentioned. Now, Ed, did you vote for Barack Obama?
Of course.
Now, Barack Obama just said yesterday in his 23 points, hey, I want more security resource officers at schools. And you just said the NRA is psychotic because they want more armed guards or more SROs at schools. So does that mean that, number one, Barack Obama is psychotic, and are you psychotic for voting for him?
Well, Barack Obama can't call them psychotic. I can't. I think I
Yeah,
followed.
but he just said what you said is psychotic. He just said he's a proponent of that.
In the first place, we've had what are called resource teachers, resource policemen in schools for 50 years in this country, where they are needed. But under the present gun culture that we have, we can't bring 100,000 more guns into our society, which would happen if we placed a guard in every school in the country. I was principal of South High, 1,800 students, 200 teachers, and assorted personnel. A high school of that size is busy 16 hours a day, has about 25, 30 days, several doors, several buildings, activities going on every night involving thousands of people. And so I think if we would have to have a staff that would satisfy a community of 2,000.
So what are you saying, that there's a cheap price on life in this country, on kids' lives, or what?
No, I'm saying we have to get rid of the gun culture in this country. We have to get rid of somehow 300 million guns. We have to have a system
Holy
of checking the mental condition of people.
Larry, I'm going to give you 30 seconds because I appreciate your time, but him saying we got to get rid of guns, 30 seconds later, and we'll wrap it up.
I didn't say all guns, some guns. Okay?
I certainly hope that on Saturday, we add another 100,000 guns on gun appreciation.
Well, I really would like to see your speeches to the 240 people that will be killed or wounded on your Gun Appreciation Day.
Ed, thanks for your time. Larry, thanks for your time. Again, I know you had a train late to go to New York. Travel safe. We'll continue this conversation. And most importantly, obviously, we want to hear from you. Please join our conversation. Go to our website, 630pov.com. You can call us at the phone number you see at below. You can text that number, email us, whatever works easiest for you. We're going to wrap this up on the other side with Mr. Robert Hahn. Stay close. Lots more coming up.